Dear students, today I am going to discuss about the stem cells. Stem cells definition says that these are the cells that retain their proliferative capacity throughout life. That means they keep on dividing and give rise to uh, new cells which further differentiate into a particular uh, cell of an organ. So, other characters of stem cells are they lack tissue specific differentiation markers. Now, these tissue specific differentiation markers are some compounds, some proteins which are present in only the cells of a particular organ. Those markers or those proteins are not found in the cells of another organ. So we can say that each organ and each particular cell type or tissue has a particular set of compounds which are generated by those cells only. And these compounds are the tissue specific differentiation markers. So the stem cells do not have these differentiation markers. So that's why we also called stem cells as undifferentiated cells. That means they are not differentiated yet into a particular type of cells. Okay, next another character of stem cells is they have the ability to make indefinite number of copies of themselves. This is very clear that they can keep on dividing as long as they get the culture media, and they can divide into indefinite number of times. After division, it can either remain a stem cell or turn into a differentiated cell. Now, how this happens? It all depends on the signals received by the neighboring cells. So, if a stem cell divides into two daughter cells, the cell which receives a particular signal from the neighboring cell can be affected by the signal and can start differentiating into a particular line of cells. So that is why the third point is saying that after division it can either remain a stem cell or turn into a differentiated cell depending on the signals received by the neighboring cells. Next, we go on to learn about the types of stem cells. The stem cells can be of different types. The first type is the embryonic stem cells. These stem cells are derived from 3 to 5 days old embryos, and these embryos are obtained during in vitro fertilization. What is in vitro fertilization? That is the fertilization outside the female's body. So when the fertilization is done outside the female's body, that is in test tube, the growing embryo can be obtained and it can be used to get the embryonic stem cells. These stem cells are pluripotent cells. Pluripotent means there are naive cells, totally undifferentiated. That means they can develop into any other different cell depending on the signals received by them. Then next type of stem cells is non-embryonic stem cells, or also called adult stem cells. In fact, the name adult stem cells is slightly misleading because these cells are also found in infants. But these cells actually undergo some differentiation and they come from developed organs. but they still do not have completed their full differentiation or maturation. So, they can replace cells of a particular tissue or organ. For example, hematopoietic stem cells, which are present in the blood, these stem cells can give rise to different blood cells that can be either red blood cells or white blood cells or platelets and so on and so forth. But remember, these hematopoietic stem cells can give rise to different blood cells only. They cannot give rise to the cells of, say, brain or stomach or liver or bone or any other organ different from the blood. So, this is the basic difference between embryonic and non-embryonic stem cells, that embryonic stem cells are pluripotent, which can give rise to any other cell of any other organ, but non-embryonic cells are not pluripotent. They come from developed organs and they keep on dividing and giving rise to the cells of that particular organ only. Okay, then going on to another type of stem cells. The third type of stem cells are cord blood stem cells. As the name suggests, these cord blood stem cells are obtained from umbilical cord after childbirth. These cells are very useful in treatment of different blood disorders like leukemia or deficiency of any blood cell, etc. Another feature of this cord blood stem cells is that they can be preserved in frozen condition in cell banks. So, once the child is born, the cord blood stem cells can be collected and preserved throughout the life of the child. And at any point in time of the life of the child, if the child suffers from some blood disorders, then these cord blood stem cells can be used to correct that disorder. Then fourth type of stem cells are amniotic fluid stem cells. Amniotic fluid, as you know, is the fluid which is surrounding the growing embryo inside the fetus. These stem cells are also capable of giving rise to the cells of different organs, but the research is ongoing for these cells. We don't know much about these stem cells yet. Then, fifth type of stem cells are induced pluripotent stem cells, or abbreviated as iPSCs. These induced pluripotent stem cells, as the name suggests, they are induced stem cells. Induced stem cells, it will be clear in short while. They are obtained by converting adult stem cells into pluripotent stem cells. Now, what are the adult stem cells? These are the non-embryonic stem cells. Now, earlier we were knowing that non-embryonic stem cells can give rise to the cells of a particular organ only. But now, we know the technique of converting the adult stem cells or non-embryonic stem cells into pluripotent stem cells. That means those new stem cells can give rise to the cells of any other organ. So, this is a classic example of de-differentiation. De-differentiation means the reversing the process. We all know that as the cell divide and mature, they differentiate into uh, the parts of different organs depending on their function and signals received by the neighboring cells. Now here what we are doing, we are inducing them to de-differentiate, means reverse the process, so that they can go back to their naive state at the point where they were not differentiated. And how do we do that? We do that by introducing four different genes, that is MYC, OCT3 by 4, SOX2 and KLF4. So these four genes, once successfully introduced into the adult stem cells, then the adult stem cells are converted into pluripotent stem cells. So these are sort of artificial stem cells which can be induced in the laboratory. So this is the fifth type of stem cells. Next, we go on to discuss the sources of stem cells. As you know, the sources of stem cells can be a developing embryo which is 3 to 5 days old, or tissue specific stem cells. For example, can be a blood tissue or epithelial tissue, or the other source can be cord blood for cord blood stem cells, and amniotic fluid, and also artificially induced pluripotent stem cells. So these are the different sources of stem cells. Now coming on to the applications of stem cells. Stem cells are used to grow new cells to replace damaged organs. Especially these are useful when the damaged organs are unable to be transplanted. And we also know that when we transplant some other organ from a different body to the patient's body, we encounter the problem of rejection of the organ. But when the organ is developed by the stem cells of the same person, then the chances of rejection is minimized. So they are very useful in growing new cells to replace damaged organs. The stem cells can also be used to correct defective parts of organs. If some parts or some tissues or some cells of a particular organ developed any defect in the later part of life, then those cells can be replaced by the stem cells, which can give rise to the correct cells of that part of the organ. The example already I gave was hematopoietic stem cells. Then stem cells are very actively used in research on genetic defects, and it is a very active area of research. Then it can also be used to study cancer development. Now we all know that cancer is a very dreaded disease, and research is going worldwide to understand the process of development of cancer in any organ or any cell. So these stem cells help us incredibly to know the step-by-step process of cancer development. And lastly, the stem cells can also be used to test new drugs for safety and effectiveness in patients. So with this, I have completed the class about the stem cells. Thank you.